Hey, good morning, everyone. Charlie Pankey, Sierra Now podcast. Welcome back again this first week of November. You believe the year is flying by, man. We are in the holiday swing, and just like always, we're here to talk about the people, the places, the destinations, and the gear that keep our adventures running. We know you guys are all prepping for ski season, snowshoe season, but I'm looking at dry dirt out my window, so we still hiking too. So, and we're excited to have today with us a guest that's been back. She was back in early May, launching a big quest. Lydia Beck from Visit Carson City is with us today. We're going to talk about the holidays in Carson City today and do a little recap of the Capital of Canada quest. Lydia, thank you for joining the show today. How you doing?
So good. Thank you for having us back, Charlie. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's been such a while. It just feels like yesterday we spoke, and it's been such a long, hard summer. I know that we just got done with Nevada Day here in the state. I'm sure you guys had lots of exciting over the weekend. I think there's a Day de los Muertos festival that was this weekend too, right? So. Yeah. So those is that fairly new for Carson City? I don't remember hearing about those. And I know I heard about it from Visit Carson Valley the other day too. So it's like, is that fairly new to the area that?
You know, the museum has been doing that event for quite a while.
Have they? Okay.
They've done a really incredible job over the last few years of really elevating the event to a really, really cool experience. And it's a unique year that because of how Nevada Day fell, we pushed ours a week later, but Visit Carson Valley got to do theirs the normal time. So you get to actually enjoy 2 weekends of Day of the Dead in this area. And so we really love that event and highly recommend coming to see it if you can.
That's cool. It fits our population too. We have a nice population of that in the region too. So that's really cool. Hey, I wanted to have you guys back on for a couple things today. Just kind of let our readers know. I want to do a little bit of a recap of the Capital of Canada quest. We had Julianne Mahoney on last week. We have Audrey coming up here, just kind of do a recap of their trips, but I really want it from your perspective. And then a lot of people don't know how special Carson City is for winter season, for Christmas season, especially. We got the VT Railroad running. You've got all the lights in the Capitol. I think there's some Christmas movies, filmed here a couple of years ago, matter of fact. So I just thought it'd be great to have you on to kind of highlight Carson City. But before we jump into Carson City in general, I want to back up to May, and actually even maybe a year ago. You guys launched a campaign called Capital of Canada Quest. If you haven't heard about this before, check out all the stories on the show here, guys. But they invited people to register to be the first 2 people to do this Carson City to Canada on the PCT with a connector here. I found out last week from Julianne, they call them lashers. So they have a term for the PC. So it's called the lasher tour. I'll explain that to you. But I wanted to check in with you, Lydia, and get your feedback on the show, because in May we kicked the ladies off. In August, Julianne returned. September, Audrey returned. Well, how did you guys like doing this promotion? What'd you learn? I mean, give me some feedback on it.
Charlie, it was a wild ride that really played out over the last 2 years. So this really was kind of 2 years in the making. By the time that the idea came into inception, which happened because of the Capital to Tahoe Trail, they call it the Cap-to-Tahoe. So it's our first connector trail in Carson City up to Lake
Beautiful
Tahoe.
Trail. Beautiful trail.
And our trails coordinator said, I think it's amazing that you can go all the way from Carson City to Canada. And I said, I want to see somebody do it. Let's figure out how to make that happen. And then the Carson City to Canada quest was born kind of from that. And so from there, by the time that we actually took applications for people who were looking to actually willing to hike from Carson City to Canada and maybe get paid for it if they finished, we selected people. Probably about a year later, they were on the trail. And so we selected Julianne and Audrey, and how lucky are we that we selected 2 ladies that finished, and they finished in an incredible time. And then when Audrey said, I want to do this as a part of the whole PCT hike, we were like, how can we say no to that? We can't make you just start in Carson City. Like, we think you're really capable of doing this. And what even a greater story it is to tell, to be able to be even just a small part of her journey and have 1,600 miles of it be from the quest. So we couldn't be more proud of them, proud of the quest, proud of the exposure that it brought to Carson City, and just making more aware, or providing more awareness of Carson City really being kind of a launch pad for adventure in the Sierra. And our 100 miles of trails are just the beginning of what is capable in this area, and Carson City is a great place to launch from. So it really ticked all the boxes that we were hoping it would. We can't believe it did so smoothly. we're just thrilled. We're thrilled.
You picked two great storytellers. I followed them all summer long. They told amazing stories from the trail from completely different perspectives, really, right? Mm-hmm. For they both love being on trail, but they looked at the world a little different. I loved, Julianne was really into nature and sunsets and just the kind of this emotional journey that went on. And then, Audrey was just cracking me up. She was sharing food. She was sharing how she felt in her boots. I mean, she would pull out some of the wildest stuff and just go, "Did you know?" Which was quite a great storytelling effort. I have to tell you from a media standpoint, I thought you guys did a great job. One, getting us included in that it was happening. I geek out over the PCT stuff. Anyways, I found it funny. I was talking to Julia last week. They actually on the trail called her a lasher, and what that stands for is a long ass segment hike. So basically, in the last book in her last journal, she actually said lashers count, lashers count too or something like that on the book. I go, that's amazing. Fantastic. So they've already coined a phrase for your segment hike, if you will. And the thing that she caught me out, and let's go back to the trails real quick, is she was talking about how amazing it was to include the Tahoe Rim Trail in the process, right? So beautiful hike up from Carson City to the Tahoe Rim Trail, and then she got to spend this amazing time walking the Mount Rose Wilderness, out to Tahoe City, and it was a hard couple days for her to get to the PCT. I mean, she lost her inReach, and she ran out of water. She just really had this struggle. So she was giving the future people a great tip: say make sure you're planning your water, but you don't miss it. It's a great thing to come back to, she said. So I thought that was a great call out for Carson City.
I think so too. Yeah. And we definitely learned that as well. Like the water refill, on the TRT is tough, and we're seeing a lot of people really interested in kind of doing that lollipop. And we had a journalist come who had covered the Carson City to Canada Quest and wanted to hike from Carson City and do the Tahoe Rim Trail. And he did. His name's Grayson Curran. He's an incredible journalist. And he coined it the Carson City Lasso. If you're going to come all the way, if you're going to hike from Carson City, do the TRT and then come back. So we've already got excitement about what the Cap-to-Tahoe has really done for us. But yeah, that we're seeing more and more interest in that TRT segment of people can't really do that super long of a hike, but they really want to do a backpacking trip that's really challenging and has a lot of payoff. I think that's the lasso is the way to do it.
That is the lasso. I like that. You're just going to do a blog post on that now. He said Carson City Lasso sounds like a great trip. That would have to be almost like a 87 mile trip probably.
Oh gosh,
somewhere around there.
So yeah, it's 12 miles basically for if you're going to start at the steps of the Capitol and actually go all the way up. I believe that's, I can't remember.
It's like 71 or 72 for the TRT, isn't it? So
probably close to that. I can't remember
84
the exact
miles,
mileage, but close to it, yeah.
That's a great long distance hike. I think that's great. Well, that's cool. I remember talking to Carson Valley a few weeks ago. They're getting ready set for their gravel bike race coming up here on the 8th, I believe. You guys have a gravel event in, I think, spring. Do you ever any thoughts of combining up and doing some of the bike ride that would go up out of Carson City onto parts of the TRT that allows bikes there, and then over to Carson Valley, or how you guys combine together for this great mountain bike ride? It'd be kind of cool. So.
I know. So we have Setness Pater, which happens usually it's usually around the 15th of May, whatever that weekend.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, okay.
So that is actually goes into Carson Valley too. So it goes all the way through the Pine Nuts and then goes, up through the Clear Creek Trail and then back into Carson City. So it covers some miles. And I know that the interest is there. I think that segment of racing at gravel especially is just growing and growing. And we love our team at Visit Carson Valley, Josh and Keith. Yeah. We love them dearly. And I think that it wouldn't surprise me if there was a mashup somewhere along the way that we got to combine and really create something, massive across both of our valleys, which I think would be so fun. Even beyond
I think that'd be fun. Yeah.
Payne's already done.
Cool. Is there any plans for future hike challenges or quest? You guys did it once to kind of launch the idea, but does this have legs for you guys as far as capital of Canada and how you market?
We've joked around about, so the starting city for the Pacific Crest Trail, if you don't know, is called Campo, California. So we were like,
Exactly, yeah.
what better way to, Carson City to Campo if we're going to go south? But we have no plans in the near future to do anything like that. But
Yeah.
it's not off the table, but not anytime soon. We're going to kind of let this breathe for a while. And
Julianne might have plans for it. She's already talked about it. So yeah, she's talked about going southbound now and
so we'll
complete
see.
the loop.
I mean, we're so thrilled that they both took home some cash for really completing the quest, and so if we can do that again in the future, we hope to do it, but nothing on the table yet.
I'll share one more little piece, and we'll get to this with Audrey's story here next week as you join the show, guys. They took two different approaches to how they took off because of Audrey's doing the whole PCT. When she left Carson City, she got to the Tahoe Rim Trail and went south so she could connect back up with the PCT and do Desolation Wilderness, where Julianne went up and she went north the wilderness and hit the Tahoe Rim Trail near Palisades. And she talks about her first night on Palisades underneath the chairlift and stuff. It was a magical night on the PCT. And I just found that really interesting. That whole lasso is going to be a unique piece of the PCT hikers, because people are going to start talking about, hey, don't miss this loop while you're here. They're going to add 70 miles to their package and pick up Tahoe along the way, right?
Yep. I think it'll be
that'd be cool. Be really cool if we
I don't even think I realized that Audrey went south. Just in my brain assumed she was actually on the TRT like on the 4th of July. Yep. So it was I think that alone was an interesting experience. There's so much of their journey that I followed along with. Some bits and pieces I checked in after, they had already gone some and passed, but I didn't realize she went south. So there's actually a nugget of information I didn't know.
Yeah, you did. I was trying to get her, to matter of fact, there was a couple spots I told her, you want to stop here for 4th of July, but it didn't work out time-wise for the miles she was covering. But it's like, oh yeah, you want to be on this ridge line right here, watch the fireworks show. But very good. The recap is done. Congratulations on the great thing.
Thank you.
I want to talk about winter and Carson City. We know the leaves are all falling now. There's still a little bit of fall hanging on. Things like ghost tours downtown, and I see there's prison tours this year, which I've never done. I thought that was something maybe you've done in the past I've missed out on. Talk about the fourth quarter in Carson City and visitors coming to town, some of the things they can look forward to. Like I said, I know we had some Christmas movies here a couple years ago. So we have
a lot of exciting things. I think in general, winter in Carson City is pretty dreamy, and it's an interesting experience being this close to Tahoe, but not at the same elevation. So again, with that base camp concept, we just find more and more people using us to stay, skiing in Tahoe, coming back down. And they don't have to fight the snow or the people or the traffic. They can kind of enjoy the bliss on the mountains and enjoy the peacefulness in Carson City when they're done. So we're seeing that more and more every year, especially on those really heavy ski years. And on top of that, that means that our trails are also pretty clear most of the year, unless we get a really heavy snow year. So you can still hike our waterfall trail all through the winter. If it is a heavy snow year, you can snowshoe in Kings Canyon. People mountain bike all winter long through here, especially on the Prison Hill area, town, where there's a little less snow. So people are active all the time in Carson City. And then when you get into that first week of December, on December 5th is always that Friday before we kind of launch into the December Christmas season. We light the Capitol grounds with the Silver and Snowflake Festival. So you want to talk about a hallmark moment. I've had a hard time finding one that kind of beats that festival. They've got sleigh rides for free they close off everything in front of the Capitol, all of 5th Street. They've got free hot chocolate, and Santa comes, and the Grinch and the 5th graders sing Christmas carols in front of the Capitol building, and then they light it all. And we get to enjoy that all December long. Yep. And then we've got Polar Express. So we've got a Polar Express train with the V&T Railway. On top of it, the Railroad Museum, that is downtown Carson City. They do the Santa train the first 3 weekends in December. So if you don't grab those tickets for the Polar Express, which go pretty fast.
Really fast.
You can enjoy the $10 ticket ride for the Santa train, which is also just super sweet and a great thing for the kids. But downtown in Carson City, you can stay active. You can enjoy that Hallmark experience. Like you said, there were some films that were filmed here, but we actually filmed a short film ourselves for our winter marketing campaign called The Winter Storm in Carson City. So it's kind of a spoof on your favorite Hallmark movies, and we turned that into our winter ad campaigns. And it's about 15 minutes, and we got some awesome feedback on that, which was really fun. So it's a great place to be in the winter.
Yeah.
And then, being this close to Tahoe, you can still go up and enjoy it and enjoy that small town charm that you can really only get in Carson City.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time here at Sierra Magazine because this is our home base here. We're right just south of you, and we talk about finding dirt in the wintertime, right? It says I can find dirt all winter long, except for maybe a weekend where it gets snow. But if the snow melts down here so fast, you're back on dirt in a couple days. You got the Pine Nut Range behind you that is just filled with all kinds of opportunity to explore. The wild horses are back there. The river is kind of weird how the river doesn't become like a focal point of our area. You would think it would be more of a focal point, but it's kind of just there. And it's kind of strange. There are some cool trails back behind Prison Hill, back along that river area that you can get lost and be by yourself a lot.
I was just there today, actually, because it's one of the most beautiful areas in the fall. I've had a hard time finding anywhere that really rivals Carson River Park area. So we love to spend a lot of time there in the fall. And that's a great trail for families. It's flat, it's wide. You can take your bikes with all the kids or by yourself, and there's a lot of solitude, and it just kind of hugs the river with those big cottonwood trees. And so a lot of people frequent back there during the winter time too, just behind Prison Hill if you're not an avid mountain biker, but still like to cruise on your bike. It's a great trail to do.
Absolutely. And we've been here 18 years, and to this day I still say the V&T Railroad experience, when you have little kids, you just can't miss it. It's hard to get tickets for. They go really fast. But if you're listening to the show and you're thinking, hey, I'd like to go to Carson City sometime, plan a year in advance and just wait for those tickets to come available. You want to grab them. There's nothing like taking your kids on a train ride with all the holiday spirit and, hot cocoa and the whole thing. And the Santa ride, down at the museum, my kids love that too. And the museum really does a lot during this season. They tend to have a lot going on. They're really festive in how they set things up. Is pretty cool. So.
Oh, they are. It's so nice, and it's so accessible, which I think is really great and affordable. And so we really appreciate the museum for that regard, and we're glad to have them as part of our community because they put on great programming, and it's only continued to improve over the years. So
yeah, absolutely. Hey, I wanted to jump back to skiing real quick here. Something that I was thinking when you're saying that is that there's been a lot of work at ski resorts on parking and transit, especially in the Tahoe area. So a lot of people, I don't know if they know that, but there is a transit bus that goes out of Carson City to Lake Tahoe. Is that correct? I mean, I think I know there's a park and play, like people park and co-op down. Is there a bus pickup in Carson City, or is that just in the Carson Valley?
Oh, that is a great question. And I haven't looked into that, and I actually don't know the answer to that question, so I don't want to give any false information.
Sure,
but I believe that there is. But I know where you're talking about Kingsbury goes, in Carson Valley goes up to Heavenly. I believe there is a stop on 50. So if you are interested, look into that, Jack.
That's what I would say.
I don't have the specifics on that, and I haven't looked into that in a while just because so many people drive when they're here. But I do believe that is an option. I
do think it's something to pass along to listeners and readers. I mean, there's the opportunity for transit from our valley up to the ski resorts and back is there. Because paid parking and reserved parking at the resorts are starting to become a thing where all have to kind of plan. So I really love what Tahoe is doing to help transit from the valley. And I think you're right. I think it's just on 50, maybe the pickup spot, but it's maybe something down the road they're going to expand. But it is a nice system to transit up, to get dropped off right at the base of, Heavenly if you want, and go from there. So, of course, from Carson City, you've got Diamond
Peak.
Diamond Peak, thank you. Diamond Peak Resort in Incline. You got Heavenly on South Shore. And then Kirkwood's only 20 minutes down road on 88, maybe 30 minutes in the wintertime. But those are three dynamic resorts all right here for your skiing pleasure. And then me being a snowshoer and a cross-country skier, heck, we just go right out our doors almost, on the trail system, which is pretty sweet, right? Well, is the Silver... you said the name of it.
The Silver and Snowflake Festival?
The Silver and Snowflake Festival. What's the date of that again this year?
It is Friday, December 5th. So it's always the first weekend of December, and I'm 99% sure that is the 5th this year.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yep, that is the 5th, yeah. That's a really fun thing. It's always funny. We always love going dinner downtown in the Christmas season in Carson City.
Oh, same.
I mean, love it because you can go have a great meal downtown. There's so many great restaurants to eat, and then you just go for a walk through the Capitol, right? And these lights are everywhere. The little I forget the name of the center right there. That's all the restaurants.
McFadden Plaza.
McFadden Plaza is all lit up. It really is quite a place to take a date and, and disappear for the holiday season, right?
And then you can walk the historic west side. So our Kit Carson Trail is always really popular too. That's our self-guided historic walking tour, and it takes you back by the governor's mansion, and the governor's mansion goes all out for the Christmas lights. So that's always really fun to see. And
let's talk about that trail real quick. It's been 12 years since I probably walked that trail. I remember the Ferris wheel house is back in there.
Right.
Let's tell people a little bit about that. Let's pretend listeners don't know Carson City. What is that trail all about?
Sure. So I'd say it's probably one of our most popular things for people to do when they come and they ask what's going on and what to do in Carson City if they've got a couple of hours. So we give them the Kit Carson Trail map. It is a 2.5-mile self-guided walking tour with an audio option that you can just do from your phone. And it weaves through downtown Carson City and our historic West Side district. So that goes by the governor's mansion, homes and attractions that really bring Carson City's history to life. And so the audio tour has a little bit longer descriptions than the map does, but the map will give you a small description of each of the 48 stops on the way in that 2.5 miles. So that West Side is really packed with history. Our downtown's packed with history. It brings you by the Capitol building too, so you can pop in, hit the museums while you're doing it too. It's a great way to spend a day in Carson City.
What do you think is one of the most surprising elements of Carson City that people learn when they come visit us that they just didn't know about Carson City?
That's an excellent question. I think that the Ferris wheel house is always a surprise, right? So
it shocked me. It's like, what?
The Ferris wheel houses, and they just refurbished a lot of it, so it looks really nice. And the new, I think that changed hands, and they've really been working hard on it. And there's this little stained glass window on the west side of the house of a Ferris wheel. Yep. And so it's just it's cool. So it was the Ferris family, and they of the creators of the Ferris wheel. So their son was the one who created it. They lived in Carson Valley. They lived in Carson City. So that history spans our valleys. Yeah. And then they also planted a lot of the trees at the Capitol, which I think is really
I didn't know that.
And then I would say the other part is, the historic prison that you can tour that you had mentioned a while ago, the Nevada State Prison. There was a quarry there. And so Abraham Curry, who's the kind of the founder of Carson City, was the first warden and opened that quarry. And so the Capitol building, his home, many of the places that you see on the Kit Carson Trail with those big sandstone blocks actually came from there. So he quite literally built our city with those blocks and from the prison. And so the prison is just also just kind of those blocks tie the prison in, which obviously is on the east side of town and not quite on the Kit Carson Trail, but it's an interesting tie-in. So I think
I love that. I absolutely that's really cool. I actually did not remember that from the tour. I guess been too long.
We don't talk about the sandstone blocks a lot. We kind of mention it when you get to his home, but the history of his tie-in with the prison and all of that on the east side is just kind of a bigger story to tell that you learn when you do the tour at the prison. Very cool.
And of course there's the Mint here in town and all the federal buildings, which are a lot of fun too. And something brand new I just want to mention to the readers and just get your feedback on too, where there's a new adventure center that is the ground has been broke now. The plans are to add, I think, 3 buildings down near the train museum, and it's going to house nothing but like outfitters and adventure program type things. Any feedback from your standpoint on Visit Carson City on that? I mean, I don't know how tied you guys into it. Or...
I can only talk to what I know. So this is obviously a Travel Nevada project. So this is not something that Visit Carson City is building, but we're happy to be a part of it. Yeah. And so grateful that it's coming to Carson City to even just really nail home that Basecamp experience.
That Basecamp idea, right? Yeah, exactly.
I think that's just really going to grow it. And so talk about, big picture, hopefully down the road, that transportation piece could be a really cool part of that. But we're unsure how everything will evolve. But the goal is it's actually in the parking lot of the Railroad Museum. So they took a portion of that parking lot, and it's going to have basically different stalls for different outfitters. And so I believe that there's 6 to 8 outfitters that will be there, but that doesn't mean that there won't be more where they can just pick up people and take them. So the concept is to move people around the region and make it really easy for them to explore the outdoors and do it easily and safely, and where they don't have to lug all of the gear with them all the time. So we really want to get more people outside and more outdoors. I think Travel Nevada's vision in doing that was so incredible, and we can't wait to see how that unfolds and how we'll be a part of it.
That's fantastic. I think that's gonna be a great ad. We have so much to do on this east side of Tahoe Range already, but then again, just a little bit of distance out, just a whole nother world just kind of opens up as a base camp area. I think that's a great thing. And then we aren't even talking about Virginia City and the east side, which is pretty amazing as well. Yeah, this last summer, and I don't know if you know anything about this. This last summer, they shut down Marlette Reservoir. They did some repairs on the dam up there, closed a little bit of our recreational trails up there just for safety and stuff. Do you know any updates up there? Do we have a plan for 2026? Is that going to be back open again?
I don't have any updates on that. That's something they've kind of cut close to the vest because to see how it unfolded with weather and things like that. So I don't know much at all, but I know that they want to open it as quickly as they can. I know a lot of work had to be done, and we're excited to see it come back too.
Any new trails that the trail organizations are working on that you're aware of or anything?
We just had a new one open on the Prison Hill side.
Oh, did you?
So in the last couple of years. So yeah, our Parks and Rec team
they're crushing it.
Incredible. Man, they are not only just a joy to work with, but they really care about our city and they care about the quality of life, and they're constantly improving and growing. So I do know that there's a couple of trails kind of in the works. They're always planning for new ones. So I'll have more information for that soon. But I would say there's one that just opened last year, and there's a new one too that I can't remember the name of for the life of me.
I didn't prep her for this. These are off the cuff. We're completely casual.
I'm saying the wrong thing. But the Desert Peach Trail is one of the new segments on the Prison Hill side that opened last year.
Okay.
And then I will happily give you the information for.
Let me know that. I haven't done that one myself, so that'd be good for me to go out and test run a little bit.
Yeah, we've heard nothing but great things about the Desert Peach Trail that kind of connects to the loop trails on that 5th Street trailhead. So
fantastic
for Prison Hill. So, and then I think there's just only more to come.
Great. Well, Lydia, believe it or not, we're already up on our half hour of the show. You've done a great job on the show. I want to give you one quick opportunity to kind of give a pitch for Carson City about why people might want to join here this fourth quarter, or anything in 2026 that we should be looking forward to.
Oh my gosh, Carson City is just a great place to be, whether you're coming for a couple's trip, coming alone, or you're coming with your family. There's just something for everybody. If you want to help and need some help planning your trip, visit carsоncity.com is a wonderful resource. We've really worked hard on building great itineraries and highlighting all of our attractions, and our blog page specifically is a really great kind of locals insider tips and tricks for when you're here in Carson City. So highly recommend checking that out. Other than that, we hope to see you here. It's a pretty magical experience, especially around the holidays.
You guys are doing a great job. I appreciate it. Now, since you've answered my 3 questions in the show with before, all right, I'm not going to make you do them exactly again, but I'm going to have 3 questions for you, though. Okay. I am going to do the bag packed, though, okay? We're going to do a bag packed winter edition here, okay? So let's pretend your bags are packed behind you. You're going to take you and your family or friends for a weekend away in the Sierra someplace. Where are you going and why?
Oh my gosh. We like to go south. So we like to go close towards Yosemite because we love this area. We spend a lot of time here. But man, if we're going to do kind of the full Sierra, we love to go down by Bishop and down by that way.
Enjoy the area, right?
Yeah, and we spend a lot of time also kind of going over 50 towards Kirkwood and stuff too. We like to spend our time in that area.
Very good. All right. Well, in Carson City, we know we have lots of great bakeries in town. We got the new Cookie Crumble. Favorite Christmas cookie?
Ooh, excellent question. Man, I love my grandma used to make the little shortbread cookies with the old school stamp that made them look like little Christmas trees. And that's just like the ultimate nostalgia for me. So if I see one of those, I'm taking it. You're taking it. Absolutely. All right. And then finally, are you let's see, piece of gear. Are you a skier? I'm not. I'm like, you're not a skier. Are you a snowshoer? Oh, you don't do winter very much? Okay. I've had 2 knee surgeries, and I snowboarded before, so it's not that I haven't. I just being here, that's deterred me a lot. All right. Okay. Winter in Carson City. What piece of gear do visitors need to make sure they bring for winter in Carson City? My gosh, you just need some good hiking boots because you're going to go up on the trails whenever you can, and you'll still be able to hike and see some amazing views. So
I
I would
agree.
say bring your bike or bring your boots.
Or
Either
bring
one.
a breathable puffy, because you're going to
Yes.
think you're cold, and then also you're going to be way too hot.
Exactly. Yeah, be prepared for the layers in the winter here in Carson City.
That's the one thing I leave for Carson City and Carson Valley where is that we have about 320 days of blue skies in our area. So you're going to come here in December, and it's going to be cold, and there might be some snow all around us, but you're going to be sweating because the sun's going to feel like it's 70 on you. So it's going to be a great day in the Carson Valley. So Lydia, thank you so very much. We're always impressed with what Carson City's doing. You guys are doing a great job promoting the region. Thanks for being our guest today. And we just wish you the best this fourth quarter as you get ready for the Christmas season.
Same to you, Charlie. Thanks again.
Very good. Hey, and if you're listening today, thank you so much for being with us. If it's happened to be your first show you're watching, like and subscribe. We'd love to have you come along. We're here every Tuesday with new things about the Sierra. We're again discovering the places, the people, the gear, and all the things that we love about the Sierra every week as best as we can. I hope you come along for the ride, and we'll talk to you again next week. Be blessed.